Hi, my name is Ella. I'm 26 years old, and for most of my life, I've been the one who understood. Understood when plans changed. Understood when money got tight. Understood when my needs came last. So when my mom sat across from me and said, "We just can't afford to take two," her voice stayed calm, almost gentle. "Your sister is going. You'll understand. You always do." Something inside me went quiet. Not loud, not angry, just finished. Because this time, understanding meant erasing myself. Before we continue, tell me where you're watching from right now. A quiet kitchen, a parked car, or a room that finally feels yours. This is Echoes of Life, and you're not alone here. I didn't become the understanding one overnight. That role was built slowly, like a habit nobody questions once it sticks. When I was 18, I stayed home. Not because I wanted to, because someone had to. Bills showed up with red stamps. The fridge hummed too loud. My parents argued in whispered circles at night. So I picked up shifts, then extra shifts, then double shifts. I paid the electric bill once, then again. Then it became normal. My sister was younger. Everyone said she deserved a lighter life. More fun. More chances. "She needs experiences," my mom would say. "She's still figuring herself out." I figured myself out by necessity. I bought groceries, cooked dinners, made calendars, filled forms, replaced broken appliances. When the couch collapsed, I bought the new one. When the TV died, I covered it. When rent came up short, I filled the gap. No one asked how I was doing. They asked if I could help just this once. Holidays followed the same script. Her gifts were thoughtful. Mine were practical. A sweater, a card, a thank you that sounded rushed. I told myself usefulness was love, that being needed meant being valued. My hands cracked from soap. I'd check the bank app before bed. If rent was short, I fixed it. If the car needed tires, I handled it. Then I set my alarm and did it again. Some nights I came home smelling like fryer oil. I'd drop my bag and start cleaning anyway, because mess made my mom anxious. And anxiety always became my job. I kept saying yes, because saying no felt like betrayal, and they trained me to confuse sacrifice with belonging. The week before the trip, the house felt louder than usual. Not from fighting, from being unseen. Most nights I stood at the counter I paid for, scrolling through work emails. Rent reminder. Utility notice. A thank you from my boss for staying late again. From the living room, my mom sounded bright. The resort sent confirmation. Ocean view. Breakfast buffet. She's going to love it. I watched from the doorway. Mom waved printouts like trophies. Dad nodded, already bored. My sister smiled at swimsuit ads on her phone. No one looked up. I still hadn't heard the sentence yet. "We can't afford 2 tickets." But my body already knew. That sinking feeling settled behind my ribs. The one that always came before disappointment. The one that trained me to swallow it quietly. "Hey," I said, "what's going on?" Mom turned, surprised I existed. "Oh, Ella, we're finalizing the trip. It's been such a hard year. Your sister really needs this break." A break from what? I wondered. Dad gave me that look. One word, sharp as a warning. "Ella, don't make this about you." The next days stacked up like receipts. My sister asked for spending money. Mom reminded me about groceries. Dad mentioned a bill, just this once, and I paid, like I always did. Then came dinner. We sat at the table I bought with my first paycheck. The plates were mine. The chairs were mine. Mom sighed and set down her fork. "So, about the trip. We wanted to take you both," she said. "But prices went up. Resort fees. Your dad's hours got cut. We had to make a choice." I stared at her. "And you chose her." Mom didn't deny it. "You're busy with work," she said quickly. "You hate crowds. You wouldn't enjoy it the same." Dad cut in, annoyed. Don't turn this into drama. It's just a vacation. There will be other trips. But it wasn't just a vacation. It was me paying the power bill while she went out with friends. It was groceries on my card, and thank you turning into expectation. I live here too, I said. I help pay for this house. But when it's something good, I disappear. Silence landed hard. Dad sighed again. You're overreacting. Life isn't always equal. Your sister is younger. There it was. The excuse dressed like wisdom. That night, I lay awake in the dark. They didn't forget me. They relied on me. And for the first time, I wondered what happens when I stop. If this were your family, what would you do? Comment 1 if you'd stay quiet to keep the peace. Comment 2 if you'd finally choose yourself. The morning they left for the airport, the house felt staged. Suitcases by the door. My sister spinning for photos. My mom reminding her to tag the resort. I stood in the kitchen with a mug I didn't want, watching them treat me like furniture. Mom hugged me fast, like a task. Water the plants, she said. If packages come, stack them in the hall. We'll bring you something from the gift shop. My dad patted my shoulder. We're only gone a week. Try to relax for once. The front door shut. Their laughter faded. Then the car engine disappeared. The silence that followed felt heavy. And oddly, clean. I walked room to room and counted what I'd bought. Couch, television, microwave, dishes, bar stools, rug, coffee maker. I pulled a folder from my desk. Receipts, email confirmations, card statements, proof with my name on it. I called a moving company. What are we moving? The guy asked. Furniture and appliances, I said. I have proof it's mine. He asked, will anyone else be there? I looked at the quiet house. No, I said. They're out of town. That afternoon, I toured a one-bedroom near the beach. The hallway smelled like carpet and lemon cleaner. A salt breeze slipped through a cracked window. It wasn't fancy. It was quiet. The landlord glanced at my pay stubs. You sure about moving so fast? She asked. I nodded. I've been on my own for years, I said. This just makes it official. 2 days later, the truck arrived. I expected curtains to twitch. Nobody stopped me. Because I wasn't stealing. I was collecting. The movers stepped inside. You sure all this goes? One asked. I opened my folder. I'm sure, I said. We started with the living room. Couch out. Television down. Shelf emptied. Rug rolled tight. The walls kept faded rectangles like ghost outlines. The kitchen went next. Microwave unplugged. Coffee maker boxed. Plates wrapped. Silverware scooped. The counters looked wrong without my things. Every time they asked, this too? I checked the paper, then nodded. I left a few items on purpose. My mom's ugly lamp. My sister's chipped side table. My dad's old recliner. I wanted the contrast to speak. By afternoon, the house echoed. Footsteps sounded louder. Even the fridge seemed too quiet. Empty space finally matched my place there. I didn't leave a note, not a single line. They never read my feelings anyway. At my new apartment, the movers carried everything inside. My couch, my dishes, my television, my life, in boxes. I signed the lease, took the keys, locked the door, and breathed. They left me behind, so I stopped holding their world up. They came back on a Sunday evening. I wasn't there, but my phone told the story. First, a text from Rachel, then a photo. My mom on the porch, keys frozen midair. My dad behind her, fists tight. My sister halfway up the steps. Inside the house, nothing. No couch, no TV, no rug. Just pale outlines where my life used to sit. Girl, Rachel texted, they're losing it. My phone started buzzing. Mom, Dad, my sister, over and over. I didn't answer. I cooked dinner in my new apartment, sat on my couch, turned on my TV. The same one they were calling theirs. Voicemails piled up, my mom crying, my dad shouting, my sister texting photos of empty rooms. What did you do? I ate slowly. Let them wait. Monday afternoon, there was a knock. 3 sharp bangs. I knew that sound. I opened the door. They pushed past me, eyes scanning my space. There it is, my mom yelled, pointing. You took everything. My dad's face was red. This is insane. You stripped the house. I closed the door and leaned against it. What I took, I said calmly, was mine. That was for the family, my mom snapped. I walked to the table and dropped the folder. Receipts slid across the wood like evidence. The couch, I said. My bonus. The TV. My tax refund. The microwave. My card. The dishes. My first paycheck. Silence. We were going to pay you back, she whispered. You've said that for 5 years, I replied. My sister stepped forward. This is extreme, Ella. You made us look bad. That did it. Oh, now we care about appearances? I said. You posted vacation selfies while I stayed home. My dad slammed the table. This is theft. I held up the receipts. Call the police, I said. Show them. He didn't move. My mom sank into a chair. We were worried something happened to you, she said. No, I corrected. You were worried about the furniture. I took a breath. I'm not coming back. This isn't a tantrum. I'm done being the backup daughter. My dad shook his head. So you cut us off over a vacation? No, I said. Over years of being invisible. They left quietly this time. No shouting, just heavy footsteps. I locked the door behind them. That night, Rachel texted. They're calling relatives, she wrote. Trying to make you the villain. I didn't defend myself. I didn't explain. Their story needed me to be ungrateful. Mine only needed receipts. And for the first time, I chose facts over begging. A month passed, and my life didn't fall apart. It settled. Mornings were quiet now. No bills slid across the table. No one asking me to cover it this time. Just coffee, ocean air, and a home that belonged to me. I took extra shifts because I wanted to, not because someone else needed something. Then my manager pulled me aside. Assistant manager. A raise. More control over my schedule. I said yes without guilt. My apartment filled slowly. Plants by the window. Photos that weren't staged for anyone else. Dinners eaten when I was hungry. Silence that felt safe instead of lonely. My parents didn't disappear. They circled at a distance. Texts that started with, "We've been thinking." Calls I answered sometimes. Short visits in public places. No money, no favors, no expectations. The first time my mom asked for help, I asked a different question. Do you want advice or do you want labor? She went quiet. That answer told me everything. I sent one message to my dad. No more shared bills. No more emergencies on my credit. He didn't argue. He couldn't. My sister showed up differently. She stopped defending them. Started naming the truth out loud. That she'd benefited while I paid the cost. That mattered. I didn't rebuild the old version of us. I built something smaller, healthier, optional. One night, I sat on my couch and understood it. They hadn't broken me. They had revealed themselves. And I finally believed what I was seeing. I didn't lose my family that day. I found my own peace. If any part of this felt familiar, like, share, and subscribe for more stories of quiet strength on Echoes of Life. More stories are coming, and you deserve to be seen.